Basis of the matter is the Ten of Wands. You can't, the last straw. It cannot go on the way it has. So the virus has come. The virus has come. The Ten of Wands, the last straw. Man lifts a heavy load, but he just can't do it. He's going to drop it. It's going to crush him. He might carry it, but he can't go on this way. He's about to fall on his face trying to lift it that way. Right? The Ten of Wands, Ten of Swords, Ten of Wands, and look at that, the Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles, a happy home, a lovely house, nice and comfort, security, relationships that last and are prosperous and positive. The Ten of Pentacles is in the past. We had our day. Our day's done now. This materialistic life, living only for work and material accumulation, is going to destroy the planet. Our alpha male American empire has reached its zenith and is crashing now. We can no longer afford this lifestyle that destroys the planet. We must find a way to make a sudden and drastic change to revitalize our world by caring more about people than gold, more about service than wealth, more about spirit than materialism. We are materialistically insane, a superficial, vain, and materialistic culture that has no respect for any life but our own, not even human life. That has to end. It cannot go on. It cannot go on. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is passing. The Knight of Pentacles is, well, what the well-intentioned moderates have been telling the black people for these last decades, since Dr. Martin Luther King was gunned down and Malcolm X was gunned down and all the other people were gunned down. We waited and waited and waited. The Knight of Pentacles is gradual progress, the wind that wears the mountain down. But we've waited long enough. We cannot wait anymore. We cannot wait for the establishment Democrats or the establishment Republicans to do anything, because they're not doing anything. The Republicans are stalling any positive change, and the Democrats are complicit because they want the money to keep flowing into the same hands that flow into their hands. Never let the lawyers make the laws. They only enrich themselves. We've waited. We've been patient. I've been waiting since 1970 to see the fossil fuel world end, the perpetual war for profit world end, the don't care about anything but yourself end, the selfish, lonely, alienated, disenfranchised, outcast, outlaw, heretic world to end. Because it is poverty. It is the poverty of spirit. The Five of Pentacles shows two people out in the cold. There is a woman in rags and a child on crutches, barefoot and alone in the world, with a policeman on his neck, homeless. Nobody cares, with an emotional poverty that's brought from materialism and superficiality. The existential rationalist who believes there's no world beyond this one. There is no spirit world. There is no redemption. There is no immortal soul. There's just this tiny little world and the little cube that we sit in. Well, that is an impoverished way of looking at the universe, and it cannot last. There cannot be a few trillionaires and the rest of the people starving. There cannot be people in the streets paying 80% of their income for rent and food and heat. I lived that way for many years in poverty, and it's a tyranny of necessity. You can't do anything but pay your basic bills and pay for expensive necessities. The only answer has always been the healing light of the Archangel Raphael, and of course love. Love is the answer. Caring about people is the answer. This virus has us all locked down, quarantined, self-isolated, shelter in place. No love. There's no love. There is no love in this world anymore. We're all in a concentration camp worldwide. And the true meaning of life, of love, of caring, of compassion, of partnership, of fellowship has gone and been destroyed by selfish, sociopathic narcissists. It's the true virus, the true epidemic in our world is conceit. The inability to love beyond yourself, self-intoxication, mythic retardation, and the perfection complex that we are the greatest nation on earth, the greatest people, the greatest person, God's favorite kid. It's a lie. We're all in this together, folks. And unless we start to find some love in our hearts and give up this heartless monogamy, this constant superficiality, this rape culture, this caveman sexuality, we are going to go extinct. And we are headed for civilization collapse unless we find it, folks. The lovers, we have to find it. And it has to be sacred and healing. That's Raphael, the archangel who's the doctor of the universe, the one who brings justice and healing. That's what we must do. That's the only way to save the future, is through love, loving one another, opening our hearts, not being so perverse by repressing all our true sensuality, and start opening it up so that we can have sensual experiences with each other without being judged, without having this horrible slavery left over of monogamy and the way we do marriage now. It's obviously wrong. The way we raise children is wrong, because look what the children are turning into. Fascist, narcissistic cops that would kneel on a man's neck until he was dead. That's not love. That's not law. We need to reform our whole world, not just this or that. Everything, every one of our institutions are obsolete. Every one of them. Government, medicine. We have the list, Medicare for all, basic income, 20-hour work week, no more money. Everybody serves the community. We have community tech centers, and everybody gets what they need to have a basic life of decency and grace. And we find a way to not be so lonely and alienated and isolated, not going through all this domestic violence and having the divorce rate above 50%. Something is definitely wrong with our basic human institutions. As I told my parents many years ago, my generation are psychic pioneers. We have no stars to guide us. We believe in peace and love and equality among all people. We are the peace and love warriors of the rainbow, and we want to make this world a better place. And we will continue this journey. The Six of Swords is a journey. You're in the middle of that river trying to get to the promised land where we won't go extinct and find some love and happiness and energetic progress and the good. Make our world a better place where we don't kill all life on the planet. We don't use life for our own needs. We don't destroy the natural world and cut down all the trees so that we can have grazing land for hamburgers or fossil fuel profits through the roof while we poison the air, the water, and the land. The Six of Swords, you're about to give up on it all in a futile defeat, a long defeat that we flower children have had to endure. But at some point in the Six of Swords, there is a turnaround. The current that's been working against the human race turns and works for the human race and takes you to the promised land right at the point of exhaustion. Like the grand conjunction at the winter solstice in 2020, Jupiter and Saturn lining up on the 0 degree of Aquarius, a turnaround of vast proportions, leading to the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is the manifestation of our desires for a better world, for a more humane and loving world, for connections between us, for commitment to each other and to love and to sensuality that's sacred and positive and free and not locked in to one person for a whole lifetime. That is a foolish and antiquated tradition that we must find a way to change our world right from the root cause, which is conceit. Conceit is racism in action. And what we need is a new day, a new manifestation of a 21st century world that can put poverty behind us. We don't need scarcity anymore. We don't need alpha males. We don't need trillionaires. As the genius Buckminster Fuller said so well, if there were no trillionaires, everybody could live like one. Now the Knight of Wands shows himself finally. The Knight of Wands is not the King of Wands. He wants to be. He's got a lot of work to do. He's got to pay his dues. But he knows what he's doing. He's a man of action, or she. He's at the last straw, and he's going to do it. He's going to do it. He's going to get it done, because the patience, the gradual, slow, plodding progress of the Knight of Pentacles, that's like that turtle that won the race with the rabbit in that child's fable, that's passing. It's time for action. Compassionate and humble, not some kind of boss, somebody that's willing to work with others and collaborate with others and take action to make the world a better place for everybody, not just the trillionaires, but everybody. Well, I think that's a very positive message, and I want to thank you for listening and for supporting my channel and my efforts to bring this truth to you. Thanks a lot. Many blessings. And take care. This is Spirit Dancer Tarot. If you want a reading, give me a call. My contact information is at the end of the video. Thank you very much. Many blessings.